What's good, family? It's your man the YB, back once again. Listen, what can I say here? Your man, KSI. Now, some of you cats will know that I've been calling this dude LSI. But listen, for this video at least, I have to give my man some respect. Now, in all fairness, I've always given KSI respect in as much as the way he turned up against Logan choke Paul was buff, strong, burly. KSI was a little internet Nico, never done nothing athletic in his life. Logan was the athlete. Logan had everything on his size. Big, buff, burly looking ass, white neck, yeah? And guess what? KSI, the internet Nico, went in there, and whatever way you want to chop it, he left it all out there, and that he fought like a fighter. I ain't gonna lie to you. KSI, KSI at that point had no skills whatsoever. But nonetheless, raw determination. That really was the definition of raw determination. He rolled up and smoked on that Logan pack. So I've always respected him on that basis. However, from that point, the guys turned me off. Why? I mean, look at that last fight. Who did he fight? Panini. He fought some don called Pinata, and then he fought Swamps. That was whack. In fact, who else did he fought? Was that his comeback? I'm not sure. Did he fight someone else? I'm not sure. The point is, he had a layoff and whatever else. He came back. Listen, he could have fought anyone. In fact, that fight wouldn't have been too bad, to be honest with you. LSI versus Wasabi. Wasabi popped BLM Deji in his chops. Washed him. Wasabi pulled out, and then KSI ended up fighting my man, Swamps, and some other dude, Pinata. No good. Get them guys out of here. Now, what's happened tonight, that's irrelevant. KSI should never have been fighting. Bear in mind, this is the guy supposed to challenge Jake Paul, yeah. Never should have been. That turned me off completely, man. That was a whack move. What are they doing that one at? However, putting that to one side, I'm giving him a lot of credit tonight. Why? Number one, I thought he'd win this fight against FaZe Khan. Yeah, FaZe Khan. Yeah, Amir FaZe Khan. I thought he was going to be a lot tougher. Well, not a lot tougher, but I thought he was going to be a lot trickier than Dennis. And he probably was. That's a scary thing. And that's why I'm giving LSI credit. And I have to almost put my hands in the air here. I didn't do it tonight. And you best believe if I had done, I'd have been screwing. But I was honest, because of the odds. The odds were 10-1 against FaZe. Now, as the fight played out, it should have been 30-1 against FaZe Khan. But before the fight, I'm thinking, he's southpaw, he's tall, and he's not a bad boxer. But I did notice, I tweeted the guy, look at his beak. My man's beak. He does all the wrong things. FaZe Khan, yeah, he does all the things an untrained civilian does. When someone comes closer to you, your chin goes in the air. That's one of the key things any decent trainer will train you. Naturally, when someone comes towards you, you want to move away. I was doing it myself when I first started. Someone comes towards you, head goes back. Because psychologically, you want to be as far away from them as possible. So you got like that. Now, trained fighters, look at Canelo. What happens when someone comes towards Canelo? His chin not going in the air. In fact, if anything, your chin should go down. That's where you're safer with your chin more forward. There's a famous clip of Floyd Mayweather, yeah? When someone pressures Floyd Mayweather, yeah, he can backpedal, but often, in fact, when Mosley rocked Floyd, what did Floyd do? Did he back up with his chin in the air? No, he actually leaned forward and leaned into the pressure. Leaning into the pressure is probably the best thing you can do. Because it takes away your opponent's range. It takes away your opponent's precision. The worst thing you can do under pressure is back up, and you're essentially lining yourself up for a putt. Simple as that. Literally, that's what you do. When you back up into someone's pressure, you're lining up, you're putting a big, juicy dartboard target right on the edge of your tip of your chops. And that's what happened to him. Look at my man here. Big lanky looking ass dude. Look at him. Watch his chops. Head goes up, and his chin's just in the air. And I couldn't believe I was cringing. Before this knockdown, and before he got knocked out, yeah, there was an exchange. He did the same thing in the Slim fight. Slim had him under pressure on the ropes, yeah? Rather than tucking up and exchanging, my man, he leads with his head. Boxing's naturally about your hands. My man, yeah? But rather than tucking up and throwing shots with his hands, my man, under pressure, his head comes up to do anything. Again, he leads with his head. He doesn't lead with his feet. Some fighters, yeah, they lead with their feet. Some fighters lead with their hands. My man leads with his head. So if he wants to go backwards, his head, you know what I mean? If he wants to go forwards, he leans forward. If he wants to, I don't know what he's doing. KSI had him under pressure, and you can see he's trying to punch with KSI, and rather than just punching with him, you see him go, his head comes up, and then it starts really quite odd. And I wonder who were training these guys. And before the fight, they were hyping. In fact, the worst thing is, before the fight, yeah, they were hyping up this guy's trainer. This guy's trainer is Malik Scott. And in fact, they were gassing him. Ade was gassing him. Oh, this guy Malik Scott, one of the deepest minds in boxing. One of the deepest minds in boxing can't do the basics. And that's, I'm sorry, yeah, that unfortunately is the state of boxing today. Top trainers can't do the bare bones minimum they're supposed to do. And I'm going to show you a tweet now. I tweeted this guy, FaZe Khan. You can see it here, look. I said, yo bro, at FaZe Khan, yeah? Yo bro, you need to keep your chin down. Boxing isn't kickboxing. And that's another thing I've noticed is about Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate is a kickboxer. Kickboxers, they have a natural kind of, I'm not sure of the specifics why, but there's something to do with, there's a reason for it basically. In kickboxing, it's advantageous to be, you're much more neutral and much more kind of, you know what I mean? It's much more relaxed, or more of a relaxed style. Boxers, oh yeah, you can have relaxed, but when you think about Mike Tyson, Canelo, it's hunched over, chin down, elbows in, chin down, elbows in. You know what I mean? The full works. You're more hunched over. Kickboxers, they're much, I think it might be to do something, maybe is it knees? You don't, if you're hunched over in kickboxing, you get kneed right in your head or something. It might be something like that, either way. And apparently this guy, FaZe Khan, allegedly is a former kickboxer. So I told him, you need to keep your chin down. Boxing isn't kickboxing or Muay Thai, yeah? Your beak is always in the air, sniffing around the place. Put a tennis ball under your chops during pad sessions and bag sessions. It will train your technique and it will train your neck. Right now, your beak is begging for the overhand right from LSI. Tighten up, bro. Now, as it happens, it wasn't the overhand right that put this guy out. Wasn't far off, though, was it? Look, it wasn't far off. KSI threw a right hand. Wasn't really an over right, but either way, KSI's famous for burying his head and banging the overhand. That's the shot I thought was going to catch him, but it wasn't far off anyway. Watch this. Let's peep what LSI... Now, I'd love to be able to show you more, yeah, but, I mean, DAZN might even block this footage, but I can't enlarge it for you, because if I do, it's going to get blocked. So, mate, you man probably can't see it, but take my word, take my description of it, yeah? Watch my man here. So, look at his head. Now, there's an argument, well, YB, FaZe Khan, he's the taller guy, so that's an argument. An argument is, taller guys can be more neutral, but that's when you're at the top level. If you're not at the top level, and you don't know, for example, Terence Crawford, he can chop and change. He can go from completely neutral to tucking up. He knows how to do that. If you don't know how to do that, keep your head down at all times, bottom line. As an amateur, there's no advantageous position having your beak in the air. So my man's beak here, I've been saying this for years about AJ as well. I don't know what it is with these new age boxers, yeah. They all want to be in a position where, as if they're walking around the park. Nice and neutral, listen, having your head here is great for walking around the park and chatting with your mates. When you're in a squabble, head down. You just take away so much. Look at this here, you can see the side of his beak. All this open area, it's all risk. You want to reduce the risk and reduce the opportunity you're giving to your opponent. You do not want to put your chops or your barnet or your bonts on a plate. And unfortunately, all I see here is a big plate of food. That's what this FaZe Khan Don turned his head into, because his head was wide in the air. Look, it's all wide open. If it had his chin here towards his chest, he wouldn't have been wide open. That's the bottom line. Anyway, 2-2. So here we go. KSI pops him right in his chops with the right hand. Square open. Nice and squared up. And then the follow through left hook. That's all she wrote. Again, his head's in the air. It was all over the place. And it's a wrap for this guy. And this, I mean, it does have to be said, yeah, this guy don't have no chops. Now, at the time, yeah, when this guy got knocked out, this guy's been knocked out twice in like 4 months. And I respect him because he has come back. He actually came back and had a close fight. I think he beat Kenny. King Kenny, yeah. This guy beat him. And King Kenny's looked pretty good. So that's what give him a lot of respect. And yeah, he got beat by Slim, but at the time, I mean, Slim looks washed now. There was a time, and I'm quite thankful really, we found out that Slim ain't all that, but genuinely, there was a month or two ago, yeah, before Slim had that close fight, not this last one was 50-50, but the one before that, he had a hard fight again. Was it Ryan something? I'm not sure, but whoever it was, before that Ryan fight that was close, I'd have told you Slim would have washed KSI. Because Slim, yeah, after this FaZe Khan fight was looking, and he looked deadly. He was running for everyone, and at the time we didn't know that. I think FaZe Temperr beat Kenny, which made him look great, and then Slim knocked out FaZe Temperr in round 1 or 2. So we're all thinking, wow, Slim's the real deal. Now as it's happened, or as it turns out, Slim ain't no. I'd bet. Listen, you might know me. I still think Jake Paul knocked KSI out. Yeah, but I'm telling you now. KSI will knock Slim out in my opinion, especially over 8 rounds. Slim can't even do. Slim was gassed after 2.5 rounds against some nobody dude. KSI will be up in that booty hole of Slim's. KSI will knock Slim onto another universe, and that's coming from me. I'd have told you 2 months ago. I'd have told you Slim will wash KSI. Listen, Slim is a plate of food for KSI. That's just what it is. Oops. Yeah. Anyway, back to this fight. So yeah, KSI clips Mr. FaZe Khan right on the side of his chops, and it's a wrap for him. He go down. Now, I feel a bit sorry for him because he was allegedly trying to get up, but I do wonder how many people are going to be saying this was a fake KO. Because everyone says Jake Paul's fight's a fake KO, so I don't think it was fake. I just think, bear in mind, I'll tell you the reason I don't think it's fake. I don't think this was fake because this is exactly the same way he went down against Slim. People, when people have no chins, they go down the same way every time. Look at Amir Khan. Amir Khan's always going down the same way because he's got no chin. So this guy got hit the same way he got hit against Slim and went down the same way. I don't think it's fixed. What I think this is a case of no chinitis. Yeah? About 1 in 10 men. It's not really a topic people discuss, but around the government put a study out in the last, I think it was about 3 weeks ago now, but either way, the government put a study out and said there's a lot of men suffering with this condition and it goes undiagnosed. It's about 1 in 10 men suffer from no chinitis. Yeah, now no chinitis, to do with the chops. And clearly FaZe Khan, he's suffering with no chinitis. And it's been the government's advised people, anyone suffering with no chinitis, number 1, should not be involved in combat sports, and number 2, should not encourage their kin, their seed, to be involved in combat sports. Yeah, so if FaZe Khan has kids, do not get your son into boxing, because it's hereditary. Yeah, he's likely to have no chinitis as well. No chin have an ass too. And I'm just glad, I didn't put no coins on, because I'll be raging right now. I don't mind people losing. What I do mind is when people do the same thing again and again and again. It's blatantly obvious. And these guys are all rich. FaZe, apparently that guy's worth about 100 mil, The guy KSI just knocked out is worth 100 mil. He owns the whole FaZe thing, which is huge, gaming and whatever else. Yeah. So this guy's minted and he's getting KO'd on TV now, man. Let's play that for him. But then again, I do respect to be $100 million man, and you're out here like this, getting knocked out for fun. I respect that. And that shows he's passionate, and I really do. These guys, whatever way you look at it, these guys are putting real boxing to shame. They really are. all of these guys. Yes, there's been a lot of mismatches. I'm not impressed with Salt Papi. I'm not impressed. Salt Papi for me, I'm getting a little tired of Salt Papi now. Yes, he's got great skills, but guess what? We've been known that. Yeah, Salt Papi was entertaining for me 3 or 4 fights ago when it was new and fresh. But now, Salt Papi for me is getting a bit long in the tooth. How many more times do we need to see Salt Papi in there with someone who can't fight? Do you know what I'm saying? It's not a case of, well, YB, Salt Papi is in there with people of his own level, but he's just blowing them out. No, listen, I know someone who can box, yeah? It's been evident for 4 fights now, Salt Papi can box. So why are they still putting him in there with people who literally can't box? And that guy, he fought, I'm not even sure the guy's name tonight. I could just tell. The way that guy went down, or the way that guy, you can tell from someone's stance. You can tell within the first minute, is this guy a real boxer or not? And you can tell he's got that stiffness and that amateur stiffness to him. He's not a boxer. I don't want to see this guy, Salt Papi, in the ring with no more of these guys. And it irritated me even more when I hear him. The first name on Salt Papi's mouth was Pinata. Oh, I want to fight Pinata, the man KSI beat. What? Do you know what I mean? Like, wait a minute, you're the hottest guy going, and you're trying to fight a dude who was running around. Nah, man, what's that about? And it tells me that Salt Papi's enjoying washing people, which I get it. Who wouldn't want to wash someone? But when are the powers that be going to step in and say, wait a minute, Salt Papi, you're getting all this clout, but you really ain't doing nothing. So Salt Papi ain't taking no risk. So I want to see Salt Papi versus, who is there? I want to see Salt Papi versus Slim. I think that's the thing. Salt Papi will knock Slim out. But at least Slim is a winner. Yeah. In there with Slim or King Kenny. But King Kenny, he's athletic. But either way, they're the two I want to see. If I see him in there with Pinata, you know it's all fake. You know it's all a big scam to pump him up. We don't need to see any more of Papi in there with people who can't box a lick. It's weird. Again, I was all for it. 3 fights ago, yeah, I was buzzing for it. But every single time we see Salt Papi, yeah, it's some bum. You know what I mean? Nah, man, that's played out. And don't get me wrong, the guy Papi fought, he was buff. But we know buff don't win fights. Yeah? But yeah, back to KSI. Salute to the guy. Has he made improvements in his skills? I have to admit, he's explosive. Now, I'm not sure his skills. I mean, you can see here, he's leaping in, low lead hands, big swinging hooks. Number 1, he's explosive. He is very quick. I do actually think he's more... I mean, KSI has that kind of African fast twitch. I do think he's more... He has that, you know what I mean? He has that African fast twitch about him. I do think he has the more explosive element over Jake Paul. I think he's twitch in that sense. KSI's got more ping than Jake Paul. Now, ping don't mean nothing. Because KSI... You see how KSI jumps in there with this guy here, he'll be jumping into an IQ catching counter from Jake Paul. That's how I'll see it going. That said, the more if KSI knocks out Slim, who has a lot of clout, yeah, the more people KSI knocks out. I mean, even myself. 2 days ago, I'd have told you Jake Paul can knock KSI out with his eyes closed. Now seeing KSI wash that Temper guy, whatever way I look at it, it's closed the gap. Do you understand? That performance has closed. When he fought Pinata and Swamps, no good. That was a joke. We saw nothing from him there. But the fact that KSI has just now knocked someone clean in the first round, yeah, who was there to win and there to fight, who had a full camp, I salute that. That's worth something, and that's why KSI let himself down fighting that clown show 2 days ago. Last time, that was a clown show. This though I'm giving him real clout for this one. That was a real effort. That was a real performance. Fair play to the guy. He went in there and he showed finesse. We haven't seen KSI do that before. In as much as, when was the last time KSI finished the deal in any fight? No, he went. That Pinata fight was not finished, and that Swamps fight was not finished. This is the first time KSI's actually knocked someone out and stopped them. And that's invaluable. That's what Jake Paul's career was built on. Jake Paul's career was built on smoking dudes. So I have to salute KSI. And I'd be a hater or a liar if I told you that I wasn't excited now. Seeing KSI dancing around with Pinata and Swamps, that turned me off. But this, seeing him go in there, yeah. And now whatever you say about Temper, he's one of the he's certainly in the top half of the YouTube boxing scene. So seeing KSI smoke the guy in one round without taking a punch, that's worth something to me. Now, if we see KSI go in there and now smoke Slim, let's not forget, Slim, he's the undefeated champion guy. If we see KSI go in there and smoke Slim, that's on. Now, they're talking about Joe Fournier. Now, KSI has said he wants one more fight and then Jake Paul. I don't advise for that. I actually want, having seen this performance, I actually want the fight to build. I'm not in no rush. I want to see the best Jake Paul versus the best KSI. Is the best KSI one fight from now? No. I'd like to see KSI relax himself. For me, if this fight happens in 12 months or 18 months, I'm not bothered. As long as KSI is going in there, yeah, with real fighters and knocking them out, I'm there for it. What I wasn't about was the fact when KSI was going in there and then fighting two dudes on one. Nah, man, that's whack. If you're going to do that, you might as well get in with Jake Paul now. But if KSI is going to have serious fights, if KSI is going to fight, for example, Slim, Fournier, who else was there? Slim, Fournier, Salt Papi, someone else, and then Jake Paul, I'm there for it. But I do think KSI, as long as he's getting these knockouts so quickly and taking no damage, there's no need for 6 months out the ring. He fought last in August, wasn't it? Wasn't it? I'm sure it was August. So August, September, October, November, December, that's 5 months ago, too much. KSI should be headlining his Misfits every 3 months. So and really, maybe every 2 months. When you're fit, yeah, and you're in camp and you're rolling camp and you've got a target of Jake Paul, why not every 2-3 months? Now, obviously, the more damage you take, that's when you need a 4 month. But for now, when you're going in there in one round, KSI versus Slim. KSI versus Slim in March. That's what should be next. The Joe Fournier fight, that can wait for June or July, in my opinion. Why? Well, I actually think Fournier needs to build himself. What's Fournier done? What's he been doing? We don't know. Get Fournier, KSI versus Slim in March, and get Fournier fighting someone on the undercard. Yeah? Fournier versus... Not being funny. What about Fournier versus Papi? Oops. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm happy to see Fournier. I'm happy to see Papi versus Kenny. But I'm saying... Papi versus Fournier, the winner fights KSI. Let's get some of these narratives building. That's what I think's valuable. Because right now, Fournier's a nobody. He's beat no one. Fournier got punched up by David Haye. Yeah? Now, obviously, David Haye's a good boxer, but still, Fournier's, as far as the internet's concerned, as far as the YouTube Misfits boxing league's concerned, Joe Fournier is a nobody. He is a nobody. I don't know what he's good for. And guess what? Fournier beating even Fournier versus Kenny or someone in the top league, yeah, that's who we need to see Fournier fight before KSI. Otherwise, it ends up being a bit of a clown show like the Swamps thing. Swamps hadn't fought no one. I don't want to see KSI fighting people who are unknown. No more. That's why I rate KSI for taking out FaZe Khan. Because whatever you say about it, FaZe Khan ain't no joke. Yeah, FaZe Khan beat King Kenny. Oops, that's a fact. And King Kenny, he's supposed to be an explosive dude, and he went life and death with FaZe Temper. So KSI coming out there and smoking this guy, you have to respect it. Assuming he wasn't paid. Nah, but listen, the thing is, FaZe Khan, yeah, he's worth 100 million himself. He's actually probably richer than KSI is. So, why would... Oh, it's fixed. If it was fixed, why would... I mean, FaZe Khan, yeah, he's just got married to one of his fine sitches. So why would you... A man who's already worth 100 million, why would you go and get knocked out on international TV for what? An extra few million? Don't make no sense. This weren't fixed on that basis. Yeah? So KSI has knocked this guy out. You have to respect it. He was there to win. FaZe was there to win. And KSI smoked him nonetheless. I rate that. I respect that. Now it's about moving on from that. The Fournier fight, I don't know about the whole Fournier thing, to be honest with you. Now, to finish off, I want to talk about the women. Women's boxing, In fact, the whole show really. Yes, there were mismatches, but I have to give credit to all of them. They actually put on a show and turned up. The whole lot of them did. And I've been saying this for a while, but it's so true. YouTube boxing is better than real boxing. Mismatches or not, the people turn up to win. Which is a lot more than you can say for most real boxing. Most real boxing, it's a clown show. Even in mismatches, it's a clown show. Because guess what? How many times these days in real boxing do we see an A-side in a 20-1 favourite fight and it goes the distance? For example, remember Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia is supposed to be the next big thing, yeah? He goes in there with Emmanuel Tago and he goes 12 rounds. Not taking any risk. Not letting his hands go. It's like, what the fuck? Yeah? Now, we've all criticised Salt Papi for being overmatched, which I agree, he's been overmatched. We all criticise other people on the card for being overmatched, but in the day, man, guess what? Overmatched or not, they showed that. Boxing doesn't do that. If you're overmatched in boxing, you go 12 rounds and say, look at Tyson Fury, perfect example. Tyson Fury's overmatched against Chisora and he goes 12 rounds. What? So don't tell me about influencer boxing. Influencer boxing is the real deal. Influencer boxing does what it's supposed to do. And by the way, even the underdogs in influencer boxing, they come to fight. Yeah? Look at that female fight. Now, it was scrappy. I do question what these trainers are doing in the gym with their female fighters. Very scrappy. But both women were in there throwing hands. And even when the chick got lost in the end, she was begging to continue. I'm super pleasantly surprised, yeah. Pleasantly surprised at how well this whole YouTube boxing scene's going, man. Them women were in there banging, exchanging. I tweeted about it. Them chicks put AJ, Canelo, all the clowns recently who have gone in there and lost and just been happy to lose, put them to shame. Because that chick, her nose was bloody and she went out punching. Yes, it was scrappy, but sometimes, that's how you go out. Yeah? Why not go out like that? Which is more than you can say for most of these clown boxers these days. Most of these clown boxers, it's all about self-preservation. They're all trying to not look too bad. Here we go. Where's the tweet? Where is it? Fair play to those. Yeah, here we go. Look. Fair play to those YouTuber women. Got more nuts than most of the real boxing dudes. Dillian White. Perfect example. Dillian White, Canelo, AJ should hang their heads in shame. Why couldn't you go out like that? Overpaid, useless nicks. Now, for me, it was really Dillian White. When you think about all the hype about Dillian White, yeah? Dillian White went in there with Tyson Fury. Where was the chin down to start thrashing? Where was that, people? Where was it? Why not? Someone explain to me why YouTube boxers are prepared to go in there and put their chin down and start swinging if it has to go that way. Now, am I saying regardless of circumstances, fighters should go in there and put their chin down and start swaying? No. What I am saying is, if you're 5 rounds down, why not give it a go and go out on your back if that's how it goes? Yeah? Why not? What's stopping you do that? Self-preservation. And that's the problem, you see. That's why so far, yeah, YouTuber boxing, people, the system builds in shame. Yeah? YouTuber boxing, they actually respect their fans. And what I mean by that is, YouTuber boxers, they're thinking to themselves, I don't want to go back to my fan base and be the guy who didn't want to get, who didn't want it. They respect their fans. They respect the opinion their fans have of them. Real boxers, the only thing they care about is taking money out of your pocket and doing nothing for it. Yeah? How many times have we heard Dillian say, F the fans, I don't care what the fans think. And it shows. Yeah? Because when it comes to it, they ain't performing for it. Costi Amato, one of the great trainers, always said, your fans are your fans are your, the fans are who you owe it to, which is the bottom line facts. These guys are so disconnected these days. Where do you think the money... Dillian, where do you think that $8 million is coming from? Yeah? It's not coming out of thin air. That's coming out of hard-working people's pockets. And you should earn it. It's not a given. Oh, I've been paid 8 mil, record payday, I want more. That's Dillian White's attitude. Get the guy out of it 100%. Big buff, bulbous looking ass Nick. With no heart. So don't tell me it can't be done. Time and time again, more or less, yeah, in every fight, I see these women and men in the YouTuber game leaving it all out there and go and spark out if that's the way it goes. I salute that. Let's see what happens going forward. Let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe, and lick off the bell. No doubt about it, 100%.